Hello people of BookTube, Megan here, and time for another book review. So first off, I want to apologize if I look like death. It is a very I have no energy to function kind of day, and just couldn't bring myself to put on a full face of makeup, or even just foundation in general, so yeah, Zombie Megan. Anyway, hello, welcome to another book review. Today I'm going to be talking about Cry Wolf by Patricia Briggs, and this is book 1 in the Alpha and Omega series. So I just want to start by saying it feels so weird going back to this series after reading all the Mercy Thompson books. First off, I do highly recommend reading this series in chronological order. There is a list somewhere online, I think on Patricia Briggs' website. Just by the time I thought I should probably be reading these in order, I'd already gotten a few books in from Mercy Thompson, and I'm just like, just finish Mercy Thompson and then go read Alpha and Omega. For a more fun experience and then not worrying about spoilers, I do suggest reading them alongside each other. Also, there is a novella short story that takes place before this. It is titled Alpha and Omega. Not absolutely necessary to read that first, I don't feel, but I do recommend it. It just gives a nice little setup and backstory. Things do pick up pretty much immediately after that short story in this. I do highly recommend reading it first. And also, before I go any further, I do want to give a warning. This series is darker than Mercy Thompson. Not to say that Mercy Thompson is all sunshine and rainbows and what have you. But one of the main characters in this series, Anna, has gone through some horrific abuse. Sexual, physical, all that. Pretty much all that is off-page happens before. There is no assault or rape scenes in this book or in the future books in this series, as far as I'm aware. Just most of it is just mentioned in passing, something that's happened in the past, if that makes sense. Just to give a little warning. If I'm doing a horrible job phrasing this, I'm sorry. And because I've spent the last 5 minutes trying to think of a good synopsis or way to describe this in my own words and failing, I'm just gonna read the back. So, Anna never knew werewolves existed until the night she survived a violent attack and became one herself. After 3 years at the bottom of the pack, she had learned to keep her head down and never ever trust dominant males. Then Charles Cormac, the enforcer and son of the leader of the North American werewolves, came into her life. Charles insisted that not only is Anna his mate, but she is also a rare and valued Omega wolf. And it is Anna's inner strength and common presence that will prove invaluable as she and Charles go on the hunt in search of a rogue werewolf, a creature bound in magic so dark it could threaten all of the pack. Yeah, much better synopsis than I could ever describe in my own words. So I will say I like this book a lot. I look forward to going into the rest of the series. I have read this in the first 2 or 3 Alpha and Omega books years ago, a while ago. And I forgot so much. I forgot so goddamn much. So I do feel like I am actually going into it for the first time again. I do enjoy this extra layer to this world, this universe that Patricia Briggs has made. Mostly everything was from Mercy's point of view in the Mercy Thompson series, with the exception of a chapter or 2 in one of the books. And it's just interesting going from that to going to this, where we switch point of views a few times. Anna and Charles are the main points of view, but we also got some from Bran as well as Asil. I hope I'm saying his name right. I tried to find pronunciations online, but I for some reason just couldn't find it. So I'm going with how I've been reading it in my head. And I enjoy that a lot, getting these extra points of views so we have a little less bias. As much as I love Mercy, a whole lot of her series is very biased from her point of view, her thoughts, her opinions on things, her memory. So it's interesting getting this new take, and especially from Anna, considering she grew up human. This whole supernatural world was totally new to her until she was turned 3 years prior to this series starting, and it's interesting getting this different point of view, especially where we pick up, which is before Bran, the Morok, forces the werewolves to reveal themselves to humanity. So, getting things from like a different point of view in that sense as well. And just, I've really enjoyed it. There's not much more I can say other than that. The characters I enjoyed getting this different take on the characters, because like I said, things from Mercy's point of view is very skewed. How we see Bran, how we see Charles, how we just see everything in general. So it was interesting, and I very much look forward to going further on in the series as well. So yeah, that's really all I can say without giving spoilers. So if you have not read this far in the series yet, highly suggest you click it now and come back after you catch up. So the first thing that I can think of saying is I enjoy Anna and Charles's relationship, just kind of like the awkwardness to it, as well as just how natural it feels. It feels so weird saying that I like both of those things together. Just because of that, it felt so natural to me. Like, yeah, they may be mates, but there is a lot they gotta work on. They still don't know much about each other. They're still kind of in an awkward place at the beginning of a relationship. And just, I found it really endearing and cute, and just, I enjoyed the relationship. Enough said. And I have said multiple times in different reviews for different series, lack of communication is a huge peeve of mine, especially when it's used for like a plot point or to cause drama. Though Anna and Charles had a few miscommunication issues, expressing things and all that, it didn't bug me that much because, it's natural. They're still getting to know each other. They still don't know a lot about each other. And then given Anna's past, her being changed and her being so horribly abused by her previous pack, and not only that is, she doesn't know a whole lot about being a werewolf because her pack kept her ignorant, her old alpha kept her ignorant. So, it feels like it's a natural kind of miscommunication. Like, it's to be expected, and it is understandable because the relationship is still so new. And because of that, it didn't bug me as much as it would. And yeah, it probably helped also that relatively quickly it came to light to them, like, oh, I did a poor job expressing this or explaining that, or oh, they must understood what I meant, I should clarify. Those misunderstandings didn't last more than a few hours to maybe a day. If that. More like overnight in some cases. So I like that, It's like, oh crap, there's a misunderstanding, let's clarify that. Good communication. So can I just say, when Anna was going through the first aid kit in Charles's home, and there was like the bright pink and green bandages, and Sam put them in there, that got a giggle out of me. I got a chuckle, because that just feels like such a sibling thing to do. Especially when upset or angry. It's like, oh my god, you did something to piss me off. I'm gonna put these in here, so now you're gonna have to go around with like bright pink and green, obnoxious colored bandages when you're injured. Huh. Like, honestly, that's something petty enough that me and my brothers would probably do toward each other if that kind of situation came up. Just, I don't know, it just felt like such a sibling thing to do. I almost completely forgot about the whole Carter Wallace thing at the beginning of Mooncalled. It took me a little while to remember, oh yeah, this series took place alongside the events in Mercy Thompson, Mooncalled, and Onward. Huh. So we got to see Carter Wallace's funeral, which sucked, and we got to see some of the backlash that Bran experienced for killing Carter Wallace, as well as, the mourning family and the town in general. And just, I don't know, I enjoy that we got to see the aftermath of what Bran had to do for the greater good, putting Carter Wallace down because he wasn't adjusting well to being a werewolf. Oh my god, Leia is such a bitch. No pun intended. And there has to be more behind that. I believe it was mentioned or theorized that it is her jealousy of Mercy that makes her so angry and mean towards Mercy. But what the deal with her and her anger and just her attitude with Anna confuses me. It can't surely just be because she's an Omega. There has to be more to it. Just, I hope we get more on that. Because, oh my god, her attitude needs some adjusting. Just, I need more on that. Just, I need more, otherwise it's just gonna aggravate me. Though, I will admit, I do feel a little bad for her with how Bran treats her so dismissively. I know there's like a reason behind it, but still, it's like, dude, she's a person too. And if just her attitude towards everyone else is just solely because of how Bran treats her, I can't blame her too much for it, but at the same time, it's like, don't be taking out your anger on people who have nothing to do with that situation. Just, I need to know more about Leia. I need more of her history, backstory, just all that, because, damn. I definitely feel so bad for Assel, just losing his mates and at the hands of a little girl that they adopted at that. Just, that's rough. That is rough. Gotta say, I am happy that he got some closure for that, but I do hope that that's not the end of his, like, appearances in this series. I know, like I said, he's in one of the later Mercy Thompson books. There is a few short stories of him, which I fully appreciate. Just, I've read Shifting Shadows, so I've read the short stories that are in that, and I greatly enjoyed the one with him. Just loved it, and I do hope we see more of his character in this series. I can't remember off the top of my head if he is, but I hope there is, because he just intrigues me. I also forgot that there is another point of view, not just like Bran, Charles, Anna, Assel. There's also Walter. I don't know why I forgot to mention him earlier. I felt so bad for Walter too. This dude has been through a lot. He's been through war. He has severe PTSD from that, resulting in him going to live off grid in the woods, mountains, whatever, and then being turned into a werewolf. And then to die at the end. Just, poor dude. To be fair, he went out a hero, like Charles said. Went out a hero. Probably wouldn't want it any other way. And he's no longer suffering from his past. So, at least there's that. But it is a shame that he couldn't, like, get a little more happiness. Why do I get so attached to side characters? I don't know. So, Bran. I much enjoy getting more of him. In the Mercy Thompson books, he just seems kind of like this, I can't say mysterious, he just seems like this out of reach guy. He's only in the Mercy Thompson series now and again, like short appearances, or through like phone calls or just references, so it's interesting to kind of see him in the flesh, like regularly. Won't lie, I always forget how young he looks appearance-wise, like some college age dude or something, some young teacher kind of vibes, and just, I always forget that that's like his actual appearance while I'm reading anything to do with him, because just how he's so hyped up. I just imagine someone a little more intimidating, someone who like leads all of the werewolves in North America. His pack consists of many of the more dangerous wolves that can't be afforded to live in other packs because they need someone to control them. Just, I don't know, I picture someone a little more intimidating than like someone who's probably looks like they're my age or younger. So whenever I read like mentions of his like physical appearance, I'm just like, oh yeah, looks are very deceiving when it comes to Bran. And also, like I mentioned, this perspective of Bran in this series, so much more different than in Mercy Thompson. Very much because Mercy's view of him is very biased. So it's interesting to see him from this different point of view, see that he isn't always the nicest guy. Like, from Mercy Thompson, I've at least already gathered, having read it, that he does put the needs of the many above the needs of the few. Like, he does do what needs to be done, even if it's a hard call. But I don't know, it's just so different seeing it from a different point of view, and from his own point of view at times, and just, I enjoy that, you know, flushing out that character a bit more, seeing him in a different light. Just, I don't know, I love that kind of stuff. I love it. And I look forward to seeing it further on in the series as well. Definitely gonna be seeing more of him because Anna is now part of their pack. And just also throwing it out there because it just came to mind, there is a short story in Shifting Shadows. I don't know if it's online anywhere or any other anthologies out there, but there is a short story with Bran and Samuel and their experience being changed, as well as the early time of being a werewolf for them both. I have read it, and it does make some experiences and some things that happen in this book make a little more sense, adds like an extra layer of depth to it. Not required, but I do highly, highly recommend it. It's something to do with silver, because it's also where they meet Ariana. Yeah, it just makes the whole background with their, like, with Bran's mother and her being a witch and his hatred towards witches make a little more sense, and it just adds an extra layer of, oh my god, panic when Mariposa was doing her thing, getting Bran as well as Assel under her control, and just, it was a little more scary. Not to say it wasn't horrifying and terrifying in its own right. A witch being able to control a pack of werewolves is a terrifying thought, especially when one of those wolves is Bran. But it was nice. I liked having that extra layer as well. And also, I would just kill for more history about Bran. Likely one of the oldest werewolves, if not the oldest werewolves out there. And just the amount of stuff that dude has had to have seen and experienced and gone through, I am intrigued. On that note of wanting more Bran's past, there's a quote that I wrote down. It's just killing me wanting more. And it is, of all the magic users in the old world, Bran despised and feared witches above everything. Probably because had matters been different, he would have been one himself. His mother was a witch, and just, I need more detail on that. I just need more detail on witches in general in this world. We got a lot on werewolves, we got a bit on vampires, and just, I need more. That just might be me though, because I love detail, I love backstory, I love history, world building, just, I can never get enough of that, especially when it's a series I love. And goddammit, I want more Bran's backstory, and I feel there is so much more I can say, but not much more in my notes, and I can't think of anything else off the top of my head. And just, I think it's a good start to a new series. I love the characters that we have been introduced to so far. I love the extra depth to characters we have so far, and I very much look forward to more, and just what other crazy things that Anna and Charles have to go through together. Want to see their relationship grow. Just, I'm here for it. I am all here for it. And I'm just all here for seeing this universe expand. And I love it. I am so ready for it, and I look very much forward to it. So, yeah. For anyone still watching, what'd you think? Did you like this addition to the series? Did you not? Is there anything that I didn't talk about that you want to discuss? Let me know. Let's get a discussion going. And yeah, that's it for this video, and I hope to see you guys next time.